Shalom, first and foremost, all praise and glory is unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rachakodash, that belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hopefully elect Shalom unto you. Brush Quad back with part 2 of this video, and this is just, more about what the last video, which is, let me grab it before I do. This is copyright disclaimer, fair use, fair use, fair use. This is not intended for monetary gain or value. This is for entertainment purposes and educational purposes, okay? And without further ado, let me connect to the other video, which was part 1. So this is part 1. You see the name there. Let's see if I can do that. All right. It was beware of the energy you let in. Okay, part 1, which was Witchboard in the movie Fallen. Okay, and it was basically because demons can hop on you, and these smartphones act like Ouija boards, if you will, and they let it, well, the way social media is and different personalities and different energies, you let these things in, and now you get these energies on yourself. Okay, and so now part 2 of this is gonna go into a kind of switch into another level, though it's gonna pick up on the same vibe, if you will. All right, so I'm gonna play this video. Bear with me 1 second while I set this up.
She's lured into using the board more and more. She's very susceptible to the spirits she contacts, and the wrong spirit will take advantage of this. At first,
before I get further, very susceptible. So who's now on these phones and these tablets and these screens? Your children, and that's what I'm going to get into in the second part of this video when I'm able to come back later and get into it. It's your children, man. Okay, very susceptible, which I'll, Lord willing, get into those things. But let me wrap up the rest of this part of it. Okay.
He'll be extremely helpful and friendly, so that she's lured into using the board more and more.
So okay, so as this is me playing the video, but this is now part 2 of this video, and about the children. We let our children onto these phones, and and they're very susceptible. Okay, which I'm gonna get that word in a second here, but they're very susceptible to the other spirits and energies that are put in these videos. And when you see, and it seems like he was going to, they'll be helpful. Yeah, it may be helpful as in the movie, but what you think is, oh, my kid is quiet. Oh, they just want a little bit of entertainment. Oh, they're just watching ABCs or other kid shows, but they're not the same kid shows you were thinking. Okay, that we grew up on, that we remember. Okay, that we watched. Now these cartoons got all kinds of rainbow energy on them. They got all kinds of demonic energy on them. They have a Illuminati symbolism in them. Okay, and this is what's going on nowadays in on these kids' cartoons. All right, so let me so that's pretty much what I want to do to intro the second part of this video. Okay, so let me show you some of the way these kids act, and I'll even get some studies or footage on people speaking on what happens to the brain of children when they're on these smartphones and tablets and whatnot. Bear with me. All right.
I took away cell phones, television, and electronic devices for my 2- and 4-year-old kids. It's been 3 weeks now, and the results have been amazing. If you're wondering why I did this, it's because they would whine a lot about things like not having enough television time. The first week was tough. They threw more tantrums than normal. After the first week, they stopped asking for the devices or even TV time. It went from my kids whining to them now asking me in the morning to play bingo or read books or play puzzles. When I was a kid, we played outside. That doesn't happen today. When people have dinner, they're glued to their phones instead of talking to each other. And the Apple Vision Pro just puts you in more of a bubble where you have less social interactions with the people around you. Now, by no means am I saying technology is bad. It has more pros than cons. But taking it away from young kids is worth testing out. And adults, including me, need to control when they use these devices and when they don't, so it doesn't take over their life. I took a
Okay. So that's his take on it, right? Not that bad, but he saw whining and complaining, and okay, well that's a case. But look at some of the other cases, right?
When her mom took away her tablet, this 5-year-old girl got really upset, so she decided to run away from home.
She packed her bags and she's running away.
Her mom didn't try to stop her because she wanted to teach her a lesson, so she simply said bye.
I said bye.
At first, the girl didn't know where to go, so she just stood in front of their house, trying to think of what to do. After a while, she finally left the house, determined to go somewhere else.
He's such a determined
But as
little
she walked up the street, she realized that nobody was calling her bluff, so she decided to go back home.
Oh, I think we've had a change of heart. She's coming.
When she returned, her mom welcomed her with open arms and
Now I must stop this and say she let this little girl walk down this road where, maybe that's a quiet neighborhood and whatever else, but the energy on this little girl, you can see the look in her face, okay? It's so angry and frustrated. And they make the video so lighthearted, like, oh, this is just funny what kids do. No, a kid ain't supposed to be able to walk down the middle of the street, down through the neighborhood, okay? When any random somebody having a bad day or drinking and driving or whatever the case could possibly be, that they can just run your child over, okay? And the parents recording this laughing, okay? But this shows you the mind state of how this works, okay? A lot of times parents will take these phones and these tablets away as punishment, not realizing that when they reward them, then they give it back to them. But they don't realize what they're rewarding them with, okay? Let me keep playing.
offered her a pizza as a peace offering.
You want to be part of this family?
They were pizza. As
You
a
want to
pizza
come back home? Come on. Come get some pizza.
See?
When her mom took
All right, let me play a different one now. No more Cocoa Melon. Okay. This is what the kids get into when they have they get all types of different energies on them. Okay. Now I'm gonna keep showing you these videos. Then I'll go deeper with it.
Hello friends, I am Dr. Priyanka Jain, Developmental and Behavioral Pediatrician, Dharamshila Narayana Super Specialty Hospital, New Delhi.
Hold on.
Today we will talk
Salakia, let me see if I can get the.
about mobile addiction and its effect in children.
Wow.
How does it start?
Salakia, man.
We
I'll turn it
as a
close.
parent are the main culprit. We are the one who give mobile to our children.
Okay, my bad. Salakia,
We are the one who give mobile to our children because what we see that most of the parents are working these days. Parents are busy. They hardly have any energy left when they reach home. So it's very easy for them to give mobile to their child because this is the easiest entertainment for their children. They are offering mobile during meal time, during night time, or in the evening also. It starts with half an hour and then it reaches up to 7 to 8 hours in a day till the time it becomes an addiction. Mobile addiction has many harmful effects on our body. It has both physical as well as behavioral impact on a child.
Behavioral impact on a child, okay? So your kid acting out and being all these other ways. You see them kids going through these withdrawals, wanting to leave home, packing their bags. That's not cute. Okay, that's not how a child should be acting. Okay? Kids shouldn't be whining, crying, and I mean, I'm probably not gonna. I found so many videos in TikToks and Instagrams and all of that and even here on YouTube that are showing the effects of withdrawals in these children with behavioral issues and even neural, neurological things that aren't connecting as they should in young childs when you give them to them too young. But I'm gonna play a few of these videos, okay?
Physical problems can be like headache, vision problems. Child may perform poorly in academics. Child may have sleepless nights or sleep pattern may be disturbed. Child may have poor memory, poor language, poor receptive and expressive language. There may be speech delay, poor eye contact. Child may be socially disconnected from the outside environment. Child may not respond to parents' commands.
And we're seeing a generation that grew up with technology. We're looking at Gen Z. And I'm not picking on the generation, but I'm just simply showing this is a generation that grew up with computers and video games and TVs and flat screens and so on and so forth into smartphones and cell phones. Okay, and now they're as the technology's advancing, they're already locked in that technology is the way of life, as we are as well. Okay, because everything that we entertain ourselves with comes on these screens nowadays. Okay, but this portion of the video is talking about the children, but in part one, I was showing you what you put in your body with what you watch in these videos. It's like rolling the dice on the information. Yeah, if you're watching recipes, that's one thing. If you're watching or getting you know, scriptures or watching the prophets, in camp or these shows they do, sit down shows and whatnot, being edified, yeah. This is also on the internet, but if that's on the internet, the balance of what also is on the internet can be so rough, man. We're not, and I didn't even mention the dark web for you that know about the dark web. Anybody on these things should understand how deep the dark web actually goes and what they have on these things. Okay? And then, World Star, so on and so forth, man. Okay? Just bad energy. All right, these kids. Think about these young kids that love that song "WAP" by Cardi B and I think it was Meg Thee Stallion or whoever was on that song. Uh, they most of them saw it on these cell phones, on these smartphones, on these mobiles. All right, so let me play some more, and now we're seeing these kids grow up with that mentality. All right, now anyway, let me continue playing it.
And children may have many behavioral issues like they may have temper tantrums, irritability, aggression, violent behavior, or up to the extent they can have depression, suicidal thoughts, or substance abuse. Thank you.
All right, which leads me to the article that came out a couple days ago. All right, okay, which I showed in part one of the video. Boy 14 fell in love with Game of Thrones chatbot, then kills, discontinued himself. We gotta speak with the L or whatever, himself, after AI told him to come home to her. Okay, and this is mom was devastated, right? A Florida boy 14 turned off his own lights after a lifelike Game of Thrones chatbot he'd been messaging for months on an AI app sent him an eerie message telling him to, quote, come home, end quote, to her. A new lawsuit filed by the grief-stricken mom claims. Okay? This is, and you telling me that this ain't detrimental? Now let me show you something. This is the boy here, 14. All right? And we saw the psyop they throw, with gender identities and all these other things as well. How much further can they really get you with AI? And as I have, there's another movie. Okay, well, I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna show you a clip. I'm not gonna show a clip, but I'm gonna show you the poster or whatever for it. Let me grab it real quick. Which is X Machina or Machina, however you pronounce it, right? And this was exactly what that was about. I'll read the plot for you in just a second, okay? Which we know that this technology is out there, okay? We just saw Elon Musk rolling this stuff out. Matter of fact, let me see if I can grab that other something. But let me read this, then I'll try to grab that. Show you the Elon Musk and then another something. It says Caleb Smith, a programmer at a huge internet company, wins a contest that enables him to spend a week at a private estate of Nathan Bateman, his firm's brilliant CEO. When he arrives, Caleb learns that he has been chosen to be the human component in a Turing test to determine the capabilities and consciousness of Ava, a beautiful robot. And the robot has AI as as was powering it, right? However, it soon becomes evident that Ava is far more self-aware and deceptive than either man imagined. Okay, very good movie, but spoiler alert, in the movie, she made Caleb to fall in love with her. Okay, and that's as far as I'm going to tell about that. But when you watch it, you'll be like, wow. Okay, you to see how this happens. But piece by piece, slowly by slowly, she started adding, like, she went from that full robotic look with just the face and the robotic body. Then she put on some clothes. Then she put on a wig. And before you know it, by the end of the movie, as he was talking to her and kind of falling in love with her, and she was sharing secrets and all of these things, just like he said in the clip. First they'll be helpful when you're susceptible and all these things, okay? And he even said he figured he figured out what he liked through his algorithm, people's algorithm, and their IP address of what their searches are. And so it's tailor made. He's like, wait, was this tailor made to me? Said, yeah, this is how I do it, and they can't, the FCC can't, or whoever it is, can't stop me, because then they'll admit that they used that as well. Okay, so this shows you that they're watching all that you click on these things. Okay, and they're taking all these cookies and all of this is all being built up. Okay, so they know how to market towards you. Okay, now. All right, so here's Elon Musk, which the heading says Optimus is your personal R2D2 C3PO, but better. It will also perform physical labor in industrial settings, meaning your jobs.
So everything we've developed for our cars, the batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors, gearboxes, the software, the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. It's
right?
The same tech.
But isn't this the guy that just got endorsed by the new 47th president-elect? Right? What do you think they're going to do with this? Okay, let's keep watching.
Techniques. It's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels.
Okay.
And we've made a lot of progress.
So this is what they're marketing. And people out there making memes and jokes, go rob that bank, go talk to this girl for me, go clean the backyard, go pick up dog. It is dumb shit, man. Okay, not looking at how serious this is. And when you watch that movie Ex Machina, you can see how serious this can become. You don't think they're gonna, as you get to pick skins on your what's the name of that game? On your video games, what's the I just had it on your Fortnite characters. You don't think you'll be able to, your kids are doing that on your Fortnite character. You don't think you'll be able to find a skin to put over this thing? You got skins and whatnot, and on your cell phones and laptops. You don't think you'll be able to personalize it? Okay, with fodder. Okay. To personalize it for you. In the movie The Sixth Day, there was that, but it was even, and you even go to Demolition Man, and it was just a helmet. There was like a hologram damn near. So, all right, they have sex robots and all this stuff. okay, that really move and have studied humans. Okay, strippers. I did video a couple years now ago that they had robotic strippers like dancing on the pole and everything like real women. All right, they're really making this a reality, and we laugh and oh, this is the future, and we love it, not realizing when you go into the movie, which is another movie, the Animatrix. And the episode on that was the second Renaissance. Okay, and they had an issue with robots trying to be real and do certain things, and man, they've been pushing this for years. The Matrix and the Animatrix was the early 2000s, over 20 years ago. Okay, and they had a revolution where, and then you go into Terminator, and all of these things connect, man. This is their left hand pushing this out there for you to accept these things. Okay, to accept this image of the beast is basically what this ties into. But the demons that come along with this, you gotta have that because they don't want you to have the spirit of the Lord on you. Okay? This is how they control the whole population and control the whole narrative by getting you in a demonic state of mind with demons on you to stay away from the Heavenly Father, your power, and never raise up. Particularly you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the real Israelites of the Bible. The last thing they want is for you to raise up where your God will come down or send his son down, or should I say, and defend you. Okay? So this is all what they're putting together with this. But let me go one step further with these robots. Speaking of Ex Machina, right? All right, look at this. Former NBA player is on Instagram, right? Lamar Odom is going viral for ordering a sex doll that looks like his famous ex-wife, Khloe Kardashian. All right? It allegedly cost him $8,000 to have made. Oh, it's cheaper on to buy this. This is idiots, man. But look, it's in the box and everything. He had the black-haired version. He even got it with the blonde hair. Or maybe he's going to outfit it with a wig that he likes. But there's video to this. Okay, and here's the video. They're talking normal about this.
It looked like I could see. It looked like I see the blood. She has the biggest ass.
The blood veins.
Yeah. Out of the dolls. Yeah. I can see that.
See? And so how realistic it looked. Man, this world is bugged out. You see? Look at this. Behavioral issues, man. Kid is asleep, still scrolling, crying, completely disturbed, addicted. Okay? So what do you think is going to happen when this technology and that same energy is pushed into them sex dolls? Okay? Pushed into these Tesla robots. Okay? You're already addicted to it. And you know, just like anybody, I scroll too. Okay? Looking for, you know, we scroll with the intent of looking for, you know, edifying lessons to go into. But what do you end up doing? Okay? You end up getting on it and being all knee deep down the rabbit hole somewhere. So imagine that on a young, susceptible mind of a child, right? So I have another video. Smartphones may affect the children the way children think. Okay? Going back on how susceptible the mind of children are. Okay, now let's watch. Fair use, of course.
Well, kids and smartphones. Most kids have them, or tablets, or gaming consoles, or some type of digital screen for hours every day they're on them.
Tonight, Terry Parker investigates the growing concern about how all that screen time can change a child's brain.
I would say they're on the phone a good 8 hours a day.
They're only 10 and 12, but like most kids, Alexa and Sophia love their digital devices.
Guys, can you put your phones away? It's time for homework.
Robin Barrero keeps the girls on track. They've got activities and spend plenty of time outdoors. They do homework and love to read. Well, Sophia does. But still, there's all...
And it's funny because those two girls particularly love to do those things, and their parents have them running and playing in grass and doing things, and they're still on cell phones or smartphones, right? But not all kids have that. For some parents and some kids, the only quiet time and peace time they have is for a parent, particularly you Jakes, single mother homes, is for her to be on her smartphone, talking, doing whatever she's doing, and you to be on a tablet or whatever screen somewhere, off into whatever whatever energies with an animation can throw at you, and your mind can't know the difference. Your mind doesn't know the difference of what's real and what's not once you lock into a certain mind state. It's the same way the movie Ex Machina does it. As you become more of the teenager that turned his own lights off, so to speak. All right. As you get used to and have you ever been in a, what is that? Say like when the graphics wasn't that good, but you get so locked into the video game, you start imagining how realistic the movement and how realistic the animation really is. But your mind is filling that in, and that was even on another show, Black Mirror Playtest. Okay, his mind went from a 16-bit, 8-bit digital mind set into 4K or whatever. Okay, and that's how these things really work. All right, this is showing you how these energies get on you, and now you're getting locked in, and whatever influences, subliminal messages and images, you're now susceptible, and particularly your children are susceptible to. All right, let's keep watching.
Those hours with their eyes glued to a fast-moving, information-glutted digital screen.
I want to know.
Anybody remember on PlayStation? I think it was PlayStation where they said you may cause seizures for watching it. Okay, this is what it can do. Which there was a study saying that these seizures. I think somebody. I should Google it to be sure. Bear with me. Okay. It says multiple people have sued video game manufacturers for causing seizures, including, this is them versus Nintendo, Joey Rocafort versus Nintendo of America, Inc. That was in 2001. Okay, and there's a 2011. Okay, rapid flash. Look, some people are photosensitive and can have seizures triggered by rapid flashes or alternating colors in video games. Okay, it is not possible to get epilepsy from playing video games. Epilepsy is a medical condition that can be caused by genetics, brain disease, or head injury. Okay, this is the information on this. Okay, and this is way back in '94. An avid video game player suffered a cluster of violent seizures while playing video games. Okay, all right. It triggers, what did it say? Triggers what? I was just screaming through the seizure triggers in video games. Okay. It said all video games carry warning labels about seizures, either on the box, in the manual, or in the game itself. Arcade games are particular carry seizure warnings. Okay. Showing you that the way that they do this, and they have studied this to such a degree that they know how to cause these things. And as I'm watching this, even in the movie Halloween 3, which was on recently, this past Halloween 3 was the season of the witch, where the main character, let me grab the image of it.
Season of the Witch. Hospital emergency room doctor Daniel Shalley and Ellie Grimbridge, the daughter of a murder victim, uncover a terrible plot by small-town mask maker Connell Cochran, a madman who's planning a Halloween mass murder utilizing an ancient Celtic ritual.
Okay. It goes on. It says the use of silver shamrock masks. They have these masks and triggering device contained in a television commercial. Okay, all designed to kill millions of children when they wear the mask and watch the certain commercial. Okay, I'm looking to see if they show that kind of happening there. But the commercial, those were the masks and the little symbol on the back of the mask. But this right here, with the little pumpkin on the TV screen, was the flashing and the lights and the music, sound like a kid tune and all of that. And that triggered the kids to what we're talking about here. Okay? That was in movies, and this is in the 80s. Okay, this is like 84 or something, 86, 84, something like that. What did it say? 82, excuse me. All right, so all of this just goes to show you the power of these screens and what it can cause. Okay, they said behavioral issues and all these other things. All right, so back to this video about how it affects the way children think. All right, all the endorphin hits and all these things. Hopefully they mention that, because I've seen this before. The endorphins and dopamine floods your brain, and you see it when you scroll, you get caught scrolling, and that good feeling floods you, and now your mind is somewhere else instead of focused on responsibilities and regular duties, right? As he mentioned in the clip that I first showed, in the last video and in this video from Witchboard, she's missing her classes. She's not doing that. She's swearing like a truck driver, so on and so forth, right? And kids have been having violent outbursts and behavioral changes when you give them these phones, and then you take them away, and then when you take them away for long enough, then they kind of revert back eventually to that child. Once you get through weeks of these outbursts, tantrums, and violent behaviors. Okay, let's keep watching.
Long-term result, I mean, does it make them more ADD?
At some level, the way we use our brains is being changed.
Dr. Lloyd Zucker is chief of neurology at Delray Medical Center. He, too, is fascinated about the effect digital screen time has on the way our children think and process the world.
With fragmented attention, your learning is inhibited or much poorer if it was to be tested.
Some studies also show the constant reward of social media likes and always being connected produces dopamine in the brain, producing a feel-good response similar to addiction.
It's like constant. You just look over it again and again and again to see like what's something new. Yeah.
I don't think that the 10-year-old or the 8-year-old or the 6-year-old knows when to shut it down.
Zucker says one study shows people who never surfed the internet and were then told to go online for 2 hours a day for 2 weeks showed immediate changes in MRI brain scans.
Whether it changes the brain permanently is open to question, because if they then take those same people and remove it from them, some of those areas that were stimulated go back to what they were.
But even though babies and toddlers are now using iPhones, iPads, and watching TV, Zucker says if it's appropriate content, it's not necessarily bad for their brains. A warning sign, Zucker says, would be digital life replacing real interaction. So for you girls, right now, the phone communication hasn't taken the place.
And the younger the child, which now is being given to younger and younger children, not just 12 and 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, now it's given to 2, 3-year-olds. Okay, new mothers are giving it to young babies, as I showed in a couple earlier clips. Okay, so this thing is getting out of control, and imagine what it's doing to the minds of these kids as they grow up with searching for these dopamine hits. Okay,
real life communication.
Not yet. Not yet. My dad's always telling us to get off the phones, and like most of the time we'll like get off the phone and go do something outdoors, but it is a big part of like my life.
There is still no long-term data on how much your kids' brains are changing, so experts recommend you do monitor how much and what type of digital input they're getting.
Now here's the problem with this. The image of the beast spoken of in Revelation the 13th chapter has these people locked into a situation, okay, a world of technocracy, where you have to be connected to the technology, where you want it. You have to seek and want these things so they can put the RFID implant within you. Okay, the micro C-hip in you. Okay, the MOT to the B. All right? So they're not going to push too far with these newscasts saying that it's all bad. Okay? Because this is the agenda of the elite who run these news media channels, right? Which media in itself, who pushes the vibrations of all of this thing. Let's look that word up. Okay, I googled just Oxford Languages, the word media, the main means of mass communication. Okay, broadcasting, publishing, and the internet regarded collectively. Their demand was publicized by the media. plural form of medium. Okay, media number 2, and I'm going to come back to that word medium. It says an intermediate layer of a wall of a blood vessel. Okay, yeah, that's the medical anatomy. Medium, the agency or means of doing something, using the latest technology as a medium for job creation, right? Similar words, means, method, way, form, okay, organ, instrument, agency, implementation, mechanism, okay, a means by which something is communicated or expressed, okay, the intervening substance through which impressions are conveyed to the senses or a force acts on objects at a distance. Okay, the substance in which an organism lives or is cultured. Surroundings, settings, right? I.e. liquid which with which pigments are mixed to make paint, right? A particular form of storage for digitized information, such as magnetic tape or discs, right? The material or form used by an artist, writer, or composer, a person claiming to be in contact with the spirits of the dead and to communicate between the dead and the living. Spirits, man. Okay? And we don't know who's a chatbot on the other side versus a real human being. We're not sure a lot of the time. Okay, that's a big thing nowadays. These bots be on the other side, and we don't know if we're talking to a real person or a bot. You know, it says the middle quality of a state being two extremes, reasonable balance. Right? I read them all: spiritualist, clairvoyant, mind reader, fortune teller, seer, necromancer. Look that up real quick. A person who practices necromancy, a wizard or magician. Okay. Which the scriptures tell us to stay away from that. Medius, middle. They're middle between the worlds. Okay? And we have plenty of scriptures that talk about these things. Well, I'm going to grab some of them. Okay? To stay away from these type of things. And imagine you're putting this on the minds of children. Okay? This is the society we're living in where they're putting this in the minds of children. All right? Let me grab some scriptures and I'll close. You know, but when you connect all of this, man, you see how demonic this world truly is. Okay, you guys touting, as we said today at camp, you guys touting Donald Trump as the savior of the world. You know, coming back to save the world and save America and all this, but he's not stopping these things at the source. He's not stopping the problems at the source. Okay. That's not what he's here to do. He's not stopping child trafficking at the source of where it's at. He's stopping it from the people that are caught with the children. He's not stopping Big Pharma, as we said earlier. He's not stopping the small hats that run the media system, that run these pedo rings and whatever else. You know, he's not stopping that. All right. So you tout him as that big thing, but this is addressing all these things. And I didn't even play this video. Before I get the scriptures, let me get this.
The worst things you could do is give your children a phone. Worst thing. Yeah, I know. You're feeling guilty now. Don't feel guilty because you just heard it from me. One of the worst things you could do is give your young child between 1 and 5 a phone. Why do I say that? Because the brain is developing. And it develops the most between 1 and 5. It doesnn't end until like 20-something years old. That's why you think, well, like, they're older. Why they acting like they lost their mind? It's because their brain hasn't fully developed. But 1 through 5 is developing, you know, Erickson's law, trust versus mistrust, all these things, all these neurons, right? When you give them the phone, they're like this. And the way the phone works, because it's usually like a game or something that you think they're learning the ABCs, so you're feeling not guilty because, oh, at least they're learning the ABCs. Yeah, no. The phone and those video games or whatever's on there moves like this. If you watch it, everything moves fast. It's like a song is fast, this is fast, it goes to something else, it goes to something else. That is wiring their brain. So now, like this, right? They're fast, everything's fast. So when we're slow and now we're in the grocery store and we gotta wait in line, I don't want to wait because my brain is going fast. You programmed it. You gave him the phone. One of the worst things.
And I was gonna say when I paused the volume a second ago, you get caught into instant gratification, and they don't know patience and no human, natural. Like you go to, I can only imagine how these theme parks go when you got to wait to get on these rides. Some theme parks have now implemented TV screens and show cartoons and different advertisements just to keep you preoccupied. But most people aren't even worried about the ride. They got their head down, not talking to their friends, on their smartphones. They're waiting to get on the ride. And they really realize they're at the theme park and it's fully themed with all these characters and whatever else that they learned from TV, but whatever. But they're interacting more on their cell phone than with the group of people that they're there to have a good time with. That they're too busy posting and writing about, on social media and writing about what they're doing to people that ain't around versus enjoying the time that they're with the people around, which is basic social skills. Okay, now let me show you this other one. The dangers of these phones. And then I'll get the scriptures. Because it's a medium to connect, right? We read that definition, a middle between two different worlds, so to speak, right? Now watch this.
It's off of YouTube because there is another YouTube Kids channel that they are all watching. So for context, this mom just caught her kids watching another show on YouTube, and it is even more worser than you could think. And not only is this channel telling them to do this to their friends.
Morning, we're eating breakfast, and he looks over at me and he says, "Mommy, can you and you happy so I don't have to you?" And I'm like, "What show?" And he said, "The Dragon Show." The Dragon? What Dragon Show? On what? Because I'm trying to pull it up. And he said, "On YouTube."
But then what she says he does next is insane.
He's not supposed to be watching YouTube because the last time that he was allowed to watch YouTube Kids, there was a cartoon of a little boy that looks like Caillou that was telling my son to go run and jump in front of cars and get all of his friends to run and jump in front of the cars driving down the street.
Does anybody know what show she's talking about? Parents need to keep their kids off.
You see? So these are things that now you are allowed your children to be susceptible to be open unto, and they don't know. They see the animation, they think it's just, it's okay, no big deal. Okay, but you've now opened it, and we know with this Roblox and all of this that they're now, connecting and trying to meet up with your child, and man, it's all kinds of crazy stuff going on nowadays, man. Okay, this is why we need Yahweh Shemi Shai to return, man, and set the world aright, because the wicked are in authority. And they're destroying the world. The people are mourning because of it. But when we get in rule and we clear all the world up from all this garbage, okay, that's when the people will be much happier and rejoice. Now let me get some scriptures. I ain't got a lot of battery, but let me get some scriptures, right? All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 18. Okay, and I'm going to just read straight to the point. 10, it says, there shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire, or use divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter of familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Right? And that's one of the words that popped up. We looked up medium. Okay? I'm going to just try to run through these quickly. I read some of these in the last first video. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood." This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world." And those rulers of darkness push this type of energy on these things, pushing it on your kids, wiring their brain toward a certain evil, state. Okay? Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, that's why you have to teach your children the name of Yahweh Shemi Shai. Don't let them be on these things, and so on and so forth, man. Pray, okay? Let's see. In the last video, I brought up when Saul went to the to go see the witch at Endor. Okay, but let's. That was when he went to go find a necromancer and all of that from Samuel. Let me grab it. 1 Samuel 28, right? And I'm going to get straight to the point, verse 7. "And then Saul said unto his servants, Seek me a woman that hath familiar spirits, that I may go to her and inquire of her, And his servant said unto him, Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. Okay, now let's go back to when he had a demon on him before. This is 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse starting at 14. It said, But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold, now an evil spirit from the Most High troubleth thee. Let our Lord, lowercase Lord, now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man whom is a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And when you read down, I'll get to the last part. Matter of fact, I start up at 22. It said, I can go straight to 23. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High was upon Saul, that David, it became King David after Saul, right? That took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Okay, so he took the spirits off of him. And you got to have ways to take these spirits off you, man. Okay, and how do you do it? You got to get into the Holy Spirit, man. Listening to the word, praying, fasting. Okay, how do you get it out of your children? Hey, cut them off from these phones. And what I try to do routinely is try to have videos playing. I can't have them playing all day, all the time, as much as I want to watch them. But put some of that on. Put some music on. Put Baroque, classical music on. Okay, do other things. Let them go run and play. Okay, let's see what else. So I got just a couple more scriptures, and then I'll close on, this is James chapter 2, verse 19. Thou believest there is one power, one God, right? Thou dost well. The devils believe also and tremble. So being in the name of the Lord, being around the name of the Lord, being those with the Spirit of the Lord is only going to be beneficial for you. Okay? So playing the videos, letting them hear the names of the Heavenly Father, saying prayers with your children in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, things like that will help. Okay? In keeping them off of these things and letting them do natural things outside, play, if they're not allergic in the grass, and run and laugh and do natural things, man, eat healthier foods. All these things will help. Okay. But we can't get so caught up in this technology because the technocracy of control is coming. And we can't just, they try to wear us down. Like they said, the first Indian lady was speaking of, excuse me if she's not Indian, but she was saying that, that parents are tired and they just want a few minutes and let the kids start with 30 minutes and they get some relief and they can get things done and cook and just get their night going, before the kids go to bed or whatever the case may be. And it becomes a thing that's a routine that the kids are used to. And now they're connected to these screens, leaving it open for all these cartoons and whatever else to program your children with different spirits on them. Okay? There's videos on YouTube that have songs of the Lord's Prayer, audio Bible, and so on and so forth. Classical music, all kinds of things, man. The internet is a crazy place. I've listened to something I thought was like a deep sleep meditation music and megahertz and all of those things, and woken up and there was something else in the middle of that video, 7 hours in or whatever, with words. It was like a rap song or something in the middle. I was like, what the hell is this? So this internet is tough, man. It's undefeated. It's tough to be able to filter everything through, but this is how serious this is, man, because your spirit and your salvation is on the line. I'm gonna go one more, and there's a bunch of other scriptures. I do have more another topic, so I may even go to a third one, but at some point maybe I'll get to it. But yeah, so let me get this last scripture, which is straight to the point. Matthew 18, verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Okay, so you want to keep your prayers, your mind, your household with the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai within it, man. You want to keep that going around. You may even have to do sage, and sage can work either way. you know, and Palo Santo, those can work either way. So you gotta use those in faith with the names. Okay, you anoint yourselves, okay, with oils. Okay, olive oil if you know, or just kind of say a prayer in the Paleo Hebrew, and put the oil on your forehead as the custom would say. And there's videos brothers have done on this. Okay, I don't think I have one up, but there's videos of this, how to make the oils, how to, you know, that the importance of oils and anointing with oils. Okay, there's a reason that this was a custom that we kept. Okay, so these are the things that we have to do to our family, to our household, because these spirits are truly coming in and trying to take over our houses, man. Okay, trying to take us over, trying to take over our children, and the spirit of Satan will gladly. I'm trying to think. Peter, bear with me. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be sober, meaning sober-minded. Okay, yeah, that can mean don't be faded, drinking and all of that, and under the influence of alcohol and blah blah blah. But mainly saying be sober minded. Don't get caught up in things that can have you drunken. Well, philosophy, so on and so on and so forth. Right? Be vigilant, watchful. Right? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. They're always going to find a way in to get you. Okay? They're always searching for that way to get you. Whether they get you through your children, whether they get you through your woman, whether they get you through your dreams, whether they get you through your co-workers, your boss, traffic. There's so many ways that this can happen. And it's our duty to try to protect our houses and our household with prayer and in the name of the Lord and righteous and positive energy that our house may be protected, man. So there's plenty of prayers on these things from different sicknesses and diseases. Okay, and so this takes a high level of faith. And the time we're coming into, we're going to have to exhibit this and exercise this on the regular. So now's the time to get it locked in with us, okay? So I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim, Yahshai, Bashim, Rakakwadash, that belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hopefully, until the next one. Shalom.